This one is going to be different. Hear me out. So, 2024, huh? I'll save you the dramatics of a summary and say that quarters 3 and 4 of this year have been a learning experience for me. I've been having to reacclimate to everything. Not just with stuff within the year, but for the past half-decade I've been wandering. Participating in cyclical behavior, bad habits, and it's been harmful to me. Harmful to my body. I've been relishing in an undeserved comfort, but for you to understand why I feel the way I do, why I feel I need to change, I need to go over some pretty heavy stuff. Open some old wounds and put them on display. To take accountability for myself. So sit down. You're going to need it. A long time ago, 5 years ago, that really felt like 5 lifetimes ago, something happened to me. Something tragic. An experience that felt both deeply and wholly impersonal to me. Like being the victim and the witness to a violent crime, but the witness in this instance only ever saw it through the fixed camera angle of a CCTV, or heard it transpire through a crackling static of a walkie-talkie. How much of a witness, a victim, was I really? And this would be a reoccurring line of thinking for me. Imposter syndrome is a difficult thing to kick. I have a great support system, don't worry, but if you ever lived your life as I have, chronically online and starved of sunlight, as most people were at the start of the COVID crisis, you'll understand. For me, it all ended where it began. Before COVID hit, or right about when it started, sometime at the start of 2020, I went on vacation to the beach. And around this time, something had happened. Earlier in my foggy memory, I got a text. It was from a mutual friend I had been introduced not too long ago. They had some news. The person that introduced me to them, someone I cared about, someone I considered to be heaven sent, immaculate in creation, beauty in motion. They had overdosed a week prior. And I questioned it, panicked, screamed, sobbed profusely, because there it was, clear as day. A link, a web page, her online obituary. There are no memories of the day after, or the week after, with the threat of a virus and a scrambled mind, things to blend or be erased altogether. Eventually I'd be talked into going to the beach with a relative for the week. I hadn't talked with anyone about what happened. I wasn't the one to divulge events or emotions unless I knew it'd be safe to, and oftentimes they weren't. So I'd go to the beach. Panama City Beach, Florida. I'd sink my toes in the sand, go up and down the coast eating exotic food, take a trip to Dave & Buster's. I'd come back home. Things would continue on as they always did. But mentally, I was still at the beach. And when I wasn't, it was like having survived a crash, waking up in the wreckage in a place I didn't recognize. My sense of continuity is has been lost over time. My ability to remember certain details, my ability to identify with what happened to me, it was gone. But in spite of that, I still had a drive. A drive and a not entirely self-imposed mission. Keep marching onward. And that's what I did. I'd meet new people, whittle away at hobbyist pursuits, waiting for something, for my life to restart, for any semblance that a change would come, that things would get better if I kept trucking along. And with one of my biggest motivators gone, with some vague idea of what she would have said to me.
I'll be waiting for you on the beach.
I kept living my life. I kept looking for connections, signs of life in the day-to-day superficiality, doing what I thought honored her memory. It worked for a while. It's not to say I didn't make mistakes, and I did. I fell lower than I did in a long, long time. It took a while to get back to the middle end of things. Time would pass. I would move on from my past. But the thing about loss, even when you've come to forget faces without pictures or dates without calendars, is that kind of trauma only goes away temporarily. It was only a matter of time until it hits again. I had to face a lot to get where I am now. Balancing meltdowns with self-improvement, fake friends with real ones. I've come a long way. Even then, I still struggle quite a bit. But I like to think I've been getting better. I take it one day at a time. I pick and choose my battles, take my victories where I can get them. I've got my friends who unconditionally support me, when they can, to thank for some of the progress I've made. My partner who keeps me grounded when I need it. And that brings me to my New Year's resolution. I want to keep making my people proud. I don't want to march without a purpose, without a cause. If the world is going to keep gradually going to hell, then I want to be an example of someone who holds firm against that. I want to keep hope. Because the people I care about deserve better than hopeless. So I'll keep polishing my craft, honing myself, applying discipline. Starting the year 2025 with one foot in the door. But with knowledge, continuity. If I'm going to be doomed to Samsara, then let's begin a new one. And how do we do that? For one thing to begin, another must end. I would like to thank all of you who have remained following, subscribing me for this long. I know this is like a significant departure from what I usually do. I'm talking about random dramas and controversies online, but I feel like I needed this to start the new year. I wanted to get into filmmaking and not just talk about petty shit online, so something like this, I feel, is a necessary first step. If you feel you like this content and you're new to the channel, then perhaps take a minute to like the video and subscribe. I really appreciate it, and it helps the growth of the channel tremendously. The more people that have eyes on this channel, the more things that I can do with it, especially since this Christmas I got a tripod, and that's what helped make this video, as well as the tripod having a little clicker button that's Bluetooth. That's especially handy. But either way, with all that being said, this has been Metro Murray, filmmaker, artist, breaker of cycles. I hope all of you have a very good 2025, and I hope you've all had a very good 2024. Farewell, and for this new year, be safe.